Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Mark, you there? Hey, Bob, you there?
I'm
Can you hear
here.
me?
Yep, I can hear you fine.
Fantastic. Thank you, Bob. I'm using Jennifer's headset, so
You're coming through loud and clear.
Don, I can see you. I can't hear you though,
There you go.
as yet.
Shut this off.
Now I can hear you, Don.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I went through my. Hold it. Let me shut this off. Shut this off. There. Oh, no.
You can turn off the other one, Don.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Let me get to it. It wouldn't work at first. There it is. So one of them should have left. There it goes.
Yes, they did. I'm going to mute you, Don, until your turn comes up. So
That's fine. Thank you. Do I get to say hi to Mark and then mute myself back?
Hi there, Donnie. What are you doing?
Oh, I just got in from Wyoming, so
Is it smoky up there?
yeah, they wouldn't let me through Colorado. There's fires, so I had to go to Denver and come in.
Oh, really?
At least they wouldn't let me through the park either. I had to drive all the way around the park.
Wow.
They call it a brush fire. They didn't announce it to anybody,
Yeah.
so nobody knows the roads are closed in Yellowstone. I better be quiet here. They want to run the meeting.
Yeah, we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet.
No.
we still got a couple minutes.
So yeah, I lost a whole day in Wyoming. And they still haven't told anybody. It's been closed since last Saturday, but they would be losing too much money. So they're calling it a brush fire. 800 acres is a brush fire up
Wow.
there. I guess it would be.
Yeah.
You couldn't go from north to south in the park.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
I was going to come through Walden that way, and they wouldn't let me through that way.
Yeah. I
Over
heard
by-
Walden had been closed for a while, but
Yeah. So
Well,
anyway,
this is,
I had to
this is the
drive
first
around.
blue day sky we've had here. Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you later in the meeting. I'll let you
All
guys
right.
do your thing. Nice seeing you, Mark.
Yeah, take care, Donnie.
Hey, this is Scott and Kimberly.
Right.
Okay, thanks, Scott. We will.
Are we missing Joan tonight? Anybody know?
I didn't hear anything, but,
Okay.
and Jennifer's not here, even though she shows up on the screen. I'm using her headset. So,
Well, try to behave yourself, okay? Hi, Susan.
well, you can
Hi.
kick me out if I need to.
How about Cindy? She coming?
I would think so. She was in town.
There's Joan.
Hello, Joan.
Hey, how are you? Hey, Don.
Chris, you don't need. Very good. Here, we have yours in the kitchen.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
How Don?
Hi. How are you doing, Susan?
Just doing good.
Good.
Okay, I show one more minute. I saw Cindy the other day, so I think she should be with us.
I hope so. She could help me out a lot.
We're here to help you.
She knew this. She knew about this years ago. Okay, I'll be good.
Well, I think you came in. That loud, my printer's running.
Sounds like you're on a dial-up.
Well, it should, yeah, beep, beep, beep. It's funny, we were just talking about that the other day because we were watching like TV streaming on the internet, and something glitched and we had to restart it. And Doug was all complaining. I was like, seriously, think about what we do, compared to when I first moved here. Oh. Okay, well, it's almost done. All right. Well, okay. Hi, Sandy. Okay, so 6 o'clock. Let's call the meeting to order, and if you please take roll.
Okay, Joan Eaton.
Here.
Sean Platt. Cindy Neely.
Here.
Nancy Hale. I see you. Mark Reynolds.
Here.
Bob Hamilton.
Here.
Brent Ganzer.
Okay. All right, and so first thing is approval of the agenda. We had an amended agenda with our books here, but actually what Jennifer had added was a COA that she thought needed to be extended and it actually didn't. He's already working on his project, it's just, so it's okay. So we don't need to do that.
You don't need that one?
No.
Yeah, I think he's done.
Yeah, he thought when his certificate ran out, he'd have to get it extended, but he's already on the project. So that I said, no, it's the permit that they have to have going before that. So we're good. So you can either use the original agenda. My actual amended one didn't even have a back on it. So I'm going by the original one. And if anybody knows something different, let me know. Can I hear a motion for approval then? Anybody have anything?
There may be a couple of items we just sort of ought to discuss at the end.
Some discussion?
Yeah,
Okay. Can I hear a motion?
I would move to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Against? Okay. Audience business, we're gonna move on because I know that we would know if they were on there. So original business is Scott Sonart, 265 Clear Creek Drive. And I believe this was tabled from last meeting. Do we have new information on this yet? I see
Yes.
this- Okay, I do see there's information for the,
Yeah, this is Scott Stonard. I can give you a quick summary if you'd like.
oh, I'm sorry. Just seeing your name didn't click. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, tell us, hi, Scott.
Hi.
State your name and address, please, and then just, we'll address the shed tonight.
Sure. Scott and Kimberly Sonart at 265 Clear Creek Drive. And we proposed a couple of weeks ago to a two-part design review consultation, first including a front elevated deck, which is impeding into a 15-foot
Suspect.
zoning restriction, which we have requested a variance for, and that is going to occur in late September. So it's not as part of this agenda as far as I'm understanding.
Correct.
And so the second piece was for a tough shed structure, which we have also modified to a smaller 10 by 12 structure, so 120 square feet. And I provided Jen with a photograph of that tough shed structure, and she said it still should be considered by the DRC.
Yeah, we still wanted to see that. Okay,
Okay.
so we have some information here.
So we are going to match, we have a green metal roof, and we have cream colored base paint, and we're proposing red trim paint on the house. And so we are going to utilize the same materials, the same roof pitch, and there should be a picture of that there as well. I'm not sure if the colors were the exact colors. They should be pretty close, but we're going to match the house with that.
Okay.
And that obviously will be in the backyard, in the center of the backyard, well within our boundaries.
Okay.
And it'll have a gable roof.
Yes, correct.
That was one of the concerns last time.
Yeah, we had a barn type roof, and we've switched it to a gable type roof.
Does the roof have some overhang?
It does have an overhang, 6-inch.
Overhang. Okay.
Looks like there's a couple of windows.
One window, one door. If it shows two windows, that may be the tough shed person inadvertently put two windows on it, but it's just one window and one door in the front.
And that has been located successfully within the setbacks?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yeah, has that been located successfully in the setbacks?
Oh, yes.
Does anybody have any sightings?
Yes, I had sightings. Nancy's having trouble being seen. I was trying to answer Nancy.
Hey, Scott, is this still 16 by 16? I'm not seeing a dimension.
No, we've reduced it and provided a new drawing. It's a 10 by 12.
Okay, I just didn't get down
Single,
to that part.
10 by 12 single story.
Okay, got you.
Sightings book 3, page 100. It's an accessory structure. And it actually meets just about everything on that page.
Page 100, everything?
Well, no, wait a second. Nancy sent me a little text. So Nancy, if you can hear me, on the lower left-hand corner of your screen, there should be a microphone, and yours is on mute. So if you would tap the microphone, we could probably hear you. Now, can you see a camera that's right next to it? Because if you can see the camera, you might be able to tap that and have it, have us be able to see you. Okay, Joan, page 100, book 3, page 100, new accessory structures in chapter 14.
Okay.
A, locate accessory structure at the rear of the lot. A1, it's set back substantially. B, constructed, it's subordinate in scale to the house. It is. And B1, the roof line does not have to match, but it should not vary significantly, and it basically matches. B2, and and essentially, well, it says that pre-manufactured on allowed, this one actually becomes built on site, does it not? Mark, that's to you.
Yeah, it's not a drop-in.
What'd you say?
I said it's not a drop-in.
It's not a drop-in, okay.
No, it's a curtain site.
And C and D, it maintains the range of building materials. And E, so yeah, it's all of page 100.
Okay,
I would move that we approve the application for the shed.
I will
Citing
second it.
I'd add a couple of sightings because we have asked about building materials. So there are also sightings on page 96 and 97. 96, talks about the fact that the materials use the ones that appear in the 97C. Well, actually not, it's just general materials. Where is it?
Page 96?
Sorry, page 96. And 97 is roof materials, and it's B, the standing seam roofs can be appropriate, and they should be essentially earth tone. The roof should have a matte finish. I don't know whether the house has a matte finish.
It does.
Okay, so it's,
The roof will also.
yeah, so it doesn't glow.
Right.
okay. Anything else?
Something on 96, anything there?
Thanks, Susan. What is the siding on the house? Is it a wood siding?
Yes.
So, A, page 96, building materials, A.
Okay,
How about we put the materials are to match what's existing on the house
Yeah.
and make it simple.
all right. Anything else? Let's have, Bob, I think you gave a,
Yeah, I would,
make a motion.
yeah, I'd make a motion that we accept the application with the sightings noted.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
And any more discussion? Comments? All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Against? Okay. Hey, thanks so much, Scott. And,
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you. We,
Thanks, Scott.
all right.
we appreciate the board's review. Thank you all. Take care.
Uh-huh. Okay. Mark, would you start the next one here with Don?
Sure.
Thank you.
Next one's Don Buckley, 510 6th Street. Don, you want to tell us what we're doing, what you're doing?
Donnie, you gotta unmute yourself.
Which-
Hitting the
Don?
button.
there you go.
Yep, I got it.
There
Okay,
you go. You're up.
you're up.
So I'm trying to put this roofing on my shed part of my shop at 510 6th Street. There's the shed part, not the front part.
Okay.
And the roofing I'm putting on there, we actually discussed it when I put it on my shed. The reason I put that roof on my shed is because they felt that's what would be good on the back of my shop. So,
Mhm.
basically it was kind of like, I could have done anything I wanted with the shed, more or less, but we felt that would try to get something that would match it. So that's why I gave you a picture of the one roof, and then it's gonna go up on the other roof. And basically, I think that's what you guys approved or wanted, so that it would look good.
What is that, corrugated?
No, it's is it? I don't even remember.
Yes,
Yeah.
Is
it's
it corrugated? Yeah, I think it
Shed.
was.
corrugated, but that's,
Yeah, and it was kind of that off rust color roofing. Yeah. I can go out and look.
no,
Yeah. Anyway, I already bought it. It's funny, I have to look at my own.
I think
So
I
I
remember.
bought enough to do that part of the roof and bought enough to do the shed. And the reason for using that roofing is because that's what we thought would look good on this trading post.
yeah, and
Because there's metal up there and it's kind of reddish and, well, now it's red and silver and brown.
And metal is not uncommon on the commercial buildings on their roofs.
Yeah, it looks like it's corrugated on the,
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Looks like Bernard did that, Donnie.
No,
No,
Yeah, he did actually.
I know that.
And he
I
was
figured.
old when he was old when he did it. In fact, I
Yeah.
caught him sliding off the roof.
Yeah, I kind of remember some of that. Yeah. He probably drug that stuff down from the pines.
Probably. Yeah, I think that's what happened.
No, I think that's appropriate for that, don't you, Cindy?
oh, yes.
Yeah.
So we've got book 2. We're in the historic commercial.
Yeah.
And it's page 82, though actually it's sort of page 83, but it's under roof materials. And
Chapter.
that is,
C3?
yeah, that's chapter 8.
Okay, thank you.
And D1, it's an earth tone, and it's not a reflective roof.
Right.
I think C3 also
C3.
is corrugated metal may be appropriate for accessory or industrial buildings.
Right.
I think that fits.
That's page 82, and the D is page 83. And so I think that's about all.
Do you hear a motion?
I would move that we accept the application to repair the roof on the back of the trading post.
I second.
Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Hey, thanks, Don.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.
Thanks, Donnie.
Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
You guys take good care.
Mhm.
Okay. Night.
Bye.
Okay, so if anybody can kind of glance at the minutes first, and then we have a few discussion items, I think, at the end.
Yes, the minutes from the last meeting say we already approved the July 23rd minutes, but Susan did put in the things about the signs that was the question on the July 23rd. And so I would like to make the motion that we approve the July 23rd as amended.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All righty. That's a good one. Okay, so Cindy, what have we got discussion wise?
No, well, we've got the August 13th minutes. We've got another set of minutes.
Okay, August 13th minutes.
Um,
I'm sorry, I'm doing paperwork, so
Yes, I understand you got that stuff going and
you guys are supposed to talk amongst yourselves and, okay.
You guys see any changes?
under Lisa and John Dahl,
Yeah.
in that last paragraph where it says, members noted that while solid fences are not normally approved, they have taken into consideration the increased traffic due to the new apartment building and Airbnb nearby.
Mhm.
It also is fundamental that he's on a corner lot
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
and he's directly across from an oncoming street. So that he'd get headlighted to death. I mean,
Yeah, we should probably put that in there as well as part of the stuff that we noted.
Okay.
so that paragraph where we noted, just let's add those two things, okay?
Okay.
Got it? And the other thing is real minor, but when we talk about the under Scott Sunart's on the last line on that first page, we talk about a zoning committee. It really isn't a committee. It's a
Yeah.
zoning review.
Okay. Review board.
We haven't multiplied Kent yet into a committee. No, says he. And I had one last one, and that was on the crows, and the conceptual view. That was, they're building on to a, what is it, a 1930s or 1940s cabin?
Yes.
Yes. It's
And
all-
I think we sort of ought to note that because we don't usually go into the kind of siding that he's using. So when we say they plan to keep the existing home, if we could just in that sentence stick the existing home, a 19, I think it's 30s even, cabin.
I
So
would
that,
just call it a one-room cabin at that.
yes, a 1930s one-room cabin. So they're trying to stay in keeping with what they have, which is pretty much out of keeping of what we usually do, but it's what they have. Okay, do we actually need to see those again, or can we pass those with those amendments?
Well, we can pass it with the changes and I won't sign it until Susan gets the new one, ready.
Okay. I would make the motion that we pass the minutes with those additions.
Okay, we hear a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so Susan, if you'll just get it to Jen when it's changed, I'll sign it. All right. Now, discussion items.
I had one that I have some concern that the looks of our town are negatively impacted by just dropping millings all over our streets. And I don't know that that's something that we comment on or what, but it's, when you are up on 3rd Street and on 4th in front of the Maxwell, I mean, when the street is really redone, it's one thing, but when we're just sort of dropping splotches all over the streets, I don't know whether it is a design thing that is the DRC is permitted to say to the town, could you please look at handling it some other way?
I don't think there's not really a cost-effective way to do it, Cindy. I mean, if you put gravel in there, it's not going to, the millings sit in the ground better than gravel does. So I think it's a poor man's option to paint paving stuff. It's just one of those things. I mean, we want to keep the dust down, and that's a good way to, keep the dust down. Maybe
I'm not talking about when when it's laid out and rolled in and it's just being sort of dropped in big glops.
well, Cindy, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Come on. I mean, I just, it's a great way to fill some of those holes and stuff. I mean, they've been trying, I'll let Kent speak to this, but they've been trying, to keep up on these roads, and that's a good cost effective way to do it. But I understand what you mean. It's blotchy, but so is dirt and mud and gravel, you know?
Concern is regarding piecemeal, though, is basically what you're saying, right? Cindy?
Yes, yeah, and it's not, you know, when it's been done in some of the spots that they've done it, they've actually put it in the holes, rolled it down,
Mhm.
and it's not just sort of scattered all over the place. I mean, I've spent a lot of time on Third Street lately, and that's the one that really sort of got to me because the excess is just pushed off to the side, so it's got little excess ridges all along the side, at which point people are tracking it. There are chunks of it that just sort of hang out on people's properties. I mean, I think we could do it a little more efficiently.
A little more tidy at least.
But you're not objecting to the use of it, I presume.
Well,
Just the
you
way
know, I
it's
personally
applied.
don't want any in front of my house, but that's me. If this is what they have to use, it's what they have to use. Let's use it well, and let's use it as neatly as we can.
I think the other thing, but they've had so much construction traffic going up and down that street that nothing's staying very well.
Well, look at 4th Street where it wasn't even rolled up in front of the Maxwell House, and it's just sort of deep and scattering out towards the properties on the sides. This,
Well, I understand what you're saying. It just needs to be refined, their application, perhaps. But I would say it's probably a work in progress. I'm not speaking for the town, but it just takes time to do this stuff. And you got to start out someplace. But I agree. If it's in front of the Maxwell House and stuff, they probably haven't rolled that in or anything. Haven't graded it all the way down to where it should be.
yeah, well, and I haven't seen a grader in a long time. When they did this section of Main Street, it came out quite well. It came out very well. They graded the street down, they prepared the street, they put the stuff on it, they rolled it down. It looks good. I'm just suggesting we get tidy. That's all.
Okay. Kip, you want to get after that?
Well, it's easier for him if he can say other people have
Noticed.
noticed.
Is there any kind of a plan to do what, like, I know they did the section in front of my house and down to, I think actually between like 11th and 15th on Main Street. And then I expected that they were going to go all the way downtown with it, but that never happened. And Main Street is always
Well,
potholes, and I mean, it's like a washboard. Are there plans
Yeah,
to
it
use
is.
sections of town to actually,
yes,
effectively it paved the street?
Temporarily.
they are. They had done basically from where Clear Creek comes off of Main to Skyline.
Mhm.
But then Kevin Marlin's house, they're waiting for the utilities to be done to that house, get that dug up as far as the connection to the mains in the street. And then they will correct that. And then if they can get it done, there's a little discussion about whether to get it done as far as basically from 10th to 11th this year, what they still have time with. I was mentioning them, there was so much coming down into the main downtown area. I mentioned something and then they did 3rd and 4th there, and I was not as accepting of that as far as what they finished that. So there's a couple different areas they need to finish up amongst their other things before we start getting weather hitting here in the fall. So they wanted to do all the way from 8th to 11th on Main this year. I don't think that's going to get done this fall. So, but exactly those areas, but the drainage needs to be considered as well. that drainage at Ninth or at Ninth and Main is very,
10th,
is
Tenth and Main's
a
bad
problem.
too,
10th and Main's got
Yep.
some difficulties.
by Alexander's.
Yep. Not Ninth and Main, 10th and Main is what I meant.
Yeah, 10th and Main, I think is what you mean. I think part of it is, Kent, too, you know, you get it on your shoes. So when and this is, you know, Nancy sent me just a note on this too, who said, could we please somehow do from the middle and roll it down so we're not tracking it into our houses? You're not getting these clumps all along the sides that you're tracking in. It's that used to be a big problem with MagChlor. You'd get it on your shoes and it would be in your rugs and carpets and things. Anyway, I thought it was worth at least bringing up and mentioning.
Sure. The other thing regarding it is there is a binder, it's Reclamite, that gets sprayed on top of it that provides some of the liquid that binds the millings together. We have ordered that or ready to do that once we get to going. That will help as far as the areas that are ready to have that when the whole street is done. So that'll be more a solid surface than a peppered surface, or, you know, where it's still crumbly on top. When they put the Reclamite on the area in front of Bob's house,
It
that's
worked.
worked out very, very well.
Yeah.
So, and also on Rose and on Marion. So,
Okay.
Just let them know we're watching.
All right, anything
like
else?
we don't know that in this town, Cindy.
Just remind them, yeah. Was there something else, Cindy?
No, but you mentioned something to me. I wondered if you wanted to bring up.
Okay, and this does not fall under DRC purview or anything, but I did have a question for Kent about beehives. And yes, I love honeybees, and I know we love the honeybees, but do you have to get a permit? Do they have to get permission? Do we know how many beehives there are in town? Because we are overrun at our house. We couldn't put our hummingbird feeders out because they just swarmed them. And the hummingbirds, couldn't get to it. And then they were in our house, and my husband's been stung, and we had company once, and, they were afraid to go outside. It's a little much. And so I kind of, I feel like there needs to be some sort of a notification or a limit, or, I don't know if it was a bad flower year or something, but they usually just get in the flowers. And this year they've been kind of obnoxious. So didn't know if we could track that.
I don't have an immediate answer for you.
But we don't really know. They
I
don't.
know, and I don't know. I know beekeeping, I have to look in our code again to make sure what are the requirements for it.
Okay, well, I mean, I know it's allowed, and I'm not saying no bees, but we don't have crops around here to pollinate,
Right.
so they're just getting to be a pretty big population of them. So I thought I might check and see on that. The other thing I was going to ask you is I wanted to be at the STR meeting, and do we have a list of current permits that I can get? I can call Jen about that. That's okay.
We are getting a map developed that we'll have tomorrow.
Okay.
And we are going to send that out to everybody who asks, and the board members, of course, and then have that available at the meeting.
All right, great.
A map for each ward as far as where the current STRs are at.
Okay. Anybody got anything else? Okay. Then let's adjourn.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
I won't make the next, no, I won't make the next meeting.
Okay. So noted.
Okay.
Mark,
All
All right,
you keep lighting up.
I have nothing to say.
Good night.
Good night.
Buddy.
Night all.
Good night, Mark. Good night, Joan.
Okay, can you chat for a sec? Hey, Brent,
Sure.
can I give you a call?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. It's outside DRC stuff. Okay, thanks, guys.